Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a book that was born from one of the darkest chapters in human history, but somehow it offers one of the most powerful messages of hope you'll ever read. Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Now, this is so much more than a bestseller. It's the raw testimony of psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps. And get this, he wrote the entire book, poured out his whole philosophy in just 9 days right after he was liberated. 9 days. It's just incredible. Frankl often brought up this quote from Nietzsche because it perfectly frames the central question of his work. When everything is taken from you, what on earth makes life worth living? Let's explore the answer he found, which he discovered in, well, the most brutal classroom imaginable. So Frankl's journey and his psychological observations, they all begin in Auschwitz. And we have to be really clear about what that place was. It wasn't just designed for mass murder. It was a system built to systematically strip away every single piece of a person's identity, their dignity, their very humanity. I mean, just try to imagine it. Your possessions, your career, your family, even your name. Gone. This was the ultimate test of the human spirit, and it led Frankl to ask a question that really applies to all of us, even outside the camps. What is truly left of you when everything you think defines you is stripped away? The first step to surviving this unthinkable reality was somehow enduring this brutal process of complete dehumanization, a systematic breakdown of who you were. This number, that was Frankl's new identity, prisoner 11,904. He saw how people with complex lives and histories and dreams just stopped existing. They were reduced to a number tattooed right onto their skin and became just interchangeable parts in this huge, horrific machine of suffering. As a psychiatrist, Frankl was observing everything, and he identified these 3 distinct psychological phases. The first was shock, where people were in disbelief, kind of clinging to this desperate hope that maybe things wouldn't be as bad as they seemed. That was quickly followed by phase 2, a deep, profound apathy. It was like an emotional death, a necessary shell you had to build around yourself just to survive the daily horrors. And then, the third phase, liberation, well, that brought its own set of incredibly difficult challenges that survivors had to work through to truly feel free. But here's the amazing thing. It was right there, from inside that state of emotional numbness, that apparent emptiness, that Frankl made his most powerful and life-changing discovery. This right here? This is the core insight of the entire book. What Frankl saw was that even when they took away everything physical, one thing always remained untouchable. The guards could control his body, his environment, but they could never, ever control his inner world, his mind, his spirit, his attitude. He realized that between a stimulus and our response, so between the suffering that was inflicted on him and how he reacted to it, there's a space. And in that space lies our power to choose. That ability to choose our attitude, he said, is the last of the human freedoms, and it's one that can never be taken away. Now, this profound discovery wasn't just some trick to survive. It actually became the cornerstone of his entire psychological approach, a school of therapy that he later called logotherapy. The name comes from the Greek word logos, which pretty much means meaning, and that's the whole point. See, unlike other therapies that focused on pleasure or power, logotherapy is all about what Frankl believed was the primary driving force in all of us, our search for meaning. So how do we find this meaning? Frankl laid out 3 main paths. First, through our work, by creating something or accomplishing a task. Second, through love, by truly connecting with another person. And third, and this is maybe the most crucial one, we can find meaning through courage, specifically in the attitude we choose when we're facing suffering that we simply cannot avoid. And to show the power of love, Frankl tells this incredible story. He's on a frozen, brutal march, feeling completely hopeless. And in that moment, he just holds the image of his wife in his mind. He had no idea if she was even alive, but he realized then that love is bigger than physical presence. It's a force that can sustain you through anything. Now, it is so important to understand that Frankl's philosophy is not a search for happiness. It's not about feeling good all the time. It's about something much, much deeper. It's the conviction that life has a potential meaning under any circumstances, even the most miserable ones. He captures the duality of what humans are capable of with this haunting observation. He points out that we are the species that invented the gas chambers, but we are also the species that could walk into those gas chambers with dignity and prayer. In any situation, Frankl argues, we have a choice about which version of ourselves we're going to be.
So, in the end, Frankel's work doesn't give you a simple answer. In fact, it flips the whole question around and poses a challenge directly to each of us. He believed we shouldn't ask what the meaning of life is. Instead, we have to realize that it's life that is asking us. And our answer isn't found in words, but in our actions, in our love, and in our courage when we face suffering. That responsibility to create meaning is ours and ours alone.